Yo guys, welcome back to TFW, and today is the first video that I'm introing and taking care of. So we have today, it's along the normal lines, but here we're discussing Klopp. So we're saying, how will Klopp's legacy go down at the end of this season? So we're going to be discussing this. Do you think he would have done very well? Do you think he would have done poor? How does this affect how he ranks in the top 5, which we've all kind of put him in? So we want to see how it goes. So before we kind of get into the video, I'm going to just read out what he's won, in his time there. So trophies at Liverpool. In 2019, he won the Champions League. In 2019, he also won the Super Cup and the FIFA Club World Cup. And then he won the Premier League in 2020.
Asterisks.
Community Shield in 2022.
Cool.
He won the League Cup in 2022. FA Cup in that year as well, and then he's just won the League Cup now in 2024.
So 8 trophies.
Yeah, 8 trophies in the 9 years.
That's good. That's a good haul.
So, if I kind of start off, I feel like this season he needs to win that Europa for it to, really, really stamp. And that might be gone. He might have lost out on that 3-0 to Atlanta in the first leg. Is not really great, but I feel like you can't just be winning these cup competitions and leave with one league when your peers...
And Champions League.
Okay, and Champions League, but your peers who people are kind of touting him around that third spot for are Mourinho and Wenger. Mourinho has 3, Wenger has 3, right?
Is it 3 or 4? Prems.
Yeah.
3.
3 each. Klopp
and an
won.
Invincible season.
Klopp won.
Yeah, Invincible, yeah.
So, it's a tough discussion. And I just want to know what you guys think about it.
Can I say one thing?
Go on.
And I don't want to discredit any of his FA Cup wins or EFL Cup wins or whatnot.
Be very careful because that's what you guys live on, your FA Cups. Let me just say.
No, yeah,
He's very careful.
He's my favourite. What was I going to say? Yeah, I think his the wins that he's gotten for the EFL Cup and the FA Cup, when you actually look at the games as well, it's not like, and we all know cup finals, it's never going to be like, it's rarely like a 4-0, 5-0, all that sort of stuff. It's usually like a 2-0, 3-1, that sort of game. But 3 of them are finished on penalties.
Exactly. Thank you for bringing that up. And who are they against? Chelsea. Oh my days, 0-0 finals. Let me rant here. Let me go. I'm ready.
All right, go.
because at Wembley we've just been done dirty against them so many times.
Yeah.
The recent one, 2024 Cup final, cool. Chelsea, that's our own fault.
Yeah, you guys threw
they
that
played
one
the
away.
youth squad. We should have won it within that 90 minutes as if we were playing for penalties. Poor. But when we take it back to Tuchel, nah, we was robbed by VAR. How many times did Mason Mount hit the post? I want you to experience Mason Mount at Wembley. I want you to experience him because he ain't won there. So, 0-0 finals, it's not really great. Even if we take it back to the Champions League final.
It's against Tottenham, bro.
What was it? 1-0 as well.
2-0.
2-0. But it was a Salah pen, right?
Salah penalty and then Origi in the
You're
dying
talking about
minutes.
Liverpool in the Champions League final, yeah. Against Tottenham.
Yeah.
Salah penalty, yeah.
And then Origi in
I
the
don't
86
know.
minutes.
I don't know if I like the route that we're
I'm
going
not
down.
saying I'm not saying completely discredit it, but you need to take all of this into account.
What I'm saying is, that's like me, for example, saying, okay, going way back then,
Yeah.
the Man United treble is discounted because we scored in the last minute and it was a bit lucky. Or the Man City goal and the Man City treble last year, the Champions League, it was only 1-0. So the whole run-up from the group stage to the final is then discredited. We can't do that. I get what you're saying, that I feel like he's ridden his luck. And tactically, and I said this in one of my hot takes, I think Klopp is overrated. Especially in terms of when we look at the type of trophies and the amount of trophies, I get that. But to me, when we're looking at what a manager has done in the Premier League, when we look at Wenger, for example, and I think it's not a debate as to whether Klopp goes third. I think Wenger or Mourinho easily take that spot above Klopp.
I agree.
But I think when we look at Wenger, part of why Arsenal fans really credit him is not just for his trophies, but for the way he changed football in the Premier League and for what he's done at Arsenal Football Club.
And the longevity.
The longevity, okay. Now, when you look at Klopp, currently the longest serving manager in the Premier League, and also the way he rebuilt that Liverpool Football Club, you have to take that into consideration and say that actually, yes, he may have not won as many Prems or as many Champions Leagues as some of the other managers. However, he's been there for, 9 years? Yeah. And also, he's taken a club that was consistently finishing out of the top 4. Only had a couple seasons here and there in the top 4, and he got them to win their first Premier League title in 30 years.
30 years,
bro. Come on. Yes, asterisk COVID, but we didn't win it. City didn't win it that year. United didn't win it. Arsenal didn't win it. But Liverpool did it. Either way, it's their first Premier League title in 30 years, and for that alone, I think no matter what happens this season, his legacy can't be tarnished.
You know, I think so as well, and you know it was so well put by yourself, because I think
I used to pray for times like this, man.
No, like in the modern era of football, he is the most successful Liverpool manager. Obviously, Benitez had a very good run, but he didn't, collect as many trophies as Klopp did. And we have to take into consideration what he inherited. And the Brendan Rodgers era, as short-lived as it was like here, and then boom. Do you get it? They, the Gerrard slip, the famous slip.
They were knocking on the door, though.
Exactly, they were knocking on the door.
One season.
Yeah, for one season. But the only thing that, Klopp is a very good manager, and I think someone in the likes of, I see a lot of similarities between him and Arteta in the sense where they both kind of, now just let me land with this, let me land. I know we're not talking about Arsenal, but just let me land with what I'm saying. I'm saying in the sense where they have the ability to sort of resurrect something that's almost dead and make the team believe that they can do the impossible. Yeah. And it's the same.
Can I call Arteta Jesus, bro?
Wait, but what I'm saying is, listen to what I'm saying. Klopp inherited a Liverpool team that I think they finished 6th or 7th their first season, and then within a matter of years, they won the Champions League.
Yeah,
and
I think he got to the Europa final in his first season as well, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. And also for what he did at, obviously I know we're talking about Liverpool, but what he did at Dortmund as well, he, quote unquote, defied the odds. Had a team that went toe to toe with Bayern Munich. Don't forget also Champions League in final, Bayern Munich as well. So it's a thing where, I think that's semi-final actually. But yeah, it's a thing where Klopp has this thing where he's able to, be the phoenix and, from the ashes now into some sort of glory. And I think for Liverpool, that's exactly what they needed.
Keeps going down the biblical route,
I'm not trying to downplay Klopp, right? Before I say it, let me put a disclaimer. I'm not trying to downplay him, right? But similar to what you said, when you look at what Klopp actually won, right? I'm not downplaying it. He's won a Champions League, he's won a Premier League, he's won one FA Cup or two?
He's won
one FA Cup and
couple two League Cups. Yeah.
Fair enough, right? But then I don't think he edges into that third place spot. One, because Wenger gets there. Wenger gets there because he's won 3 Premier Leagues. Yes, he didn't get a Champions League, but in one of the toughest eras of football, he won 3, and he has an invincible that has not been done before. Yeah. Hands up. Mm-hmm. Pep Guardiola, before he was at City, treble had never been done before. City have just done that. They're about to win 4 in a row, in my opinion, right? And he's won the Champions League just something that Man City have never done, right? So he's changed their club completely. Although I know that Man City won the Premier League before Pep was there, I get that. But Pep has completely changed what Man City was, right? So he's changed their club. Wenger changed Arsenal. Now Klopp has changed Liverpool, but to the extent that we're talking about, it's not the extent that Pep and Wenger had in their club.
How about Mourinho though?
Right, Mourinho as well. Mourinho's won the league, and he was the he's the manager that got the least goals conceded in the Premier League season.
Was it 15 been done
before?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
so these are accolades that these managers hold, right? And I think, to be fair, there was a season where Liverpool got the highest points total. But then it was topped by City, wasn't it?
I think because Liverpool got 97 and then City got 98.
And still won the league. So, unfortunately for them, Pep has gone one head.
Yeah, but we know that these managers are better than Klopp, bro. But my thing is, I don't really see how you can put his whole legacy at Liverpool down to whether he wins a trophy in his last season.
Yeah, you can't.
It's not whether or not he wins the trophy in his last season, but it would have been nice, as much as them lot are saying quadruple, and that they could have done it. They didn't do it. They didn't do it.
It is a valid point, because I think in 2022 they were also on for the quadruple, and they only ended up winning those 2 cup competitions. Yeah. I'm saying only, not to disrespect it, because the trophy's a trophy at the end of the day, but that Champions League performance against Real Madrid, it kind of showed their level, now when Chelsea have been, and I keep bringing it back to Chelsea, but when Chelsea were in that Europa, when we're in there, we win it. If you're a team of that caliber, when you're in there, you should win it. United got to the final when they were in it, and we've
won it as well.
Yeah. They've won it before, and then when they got to the final with Oli, Man, the hater just couldn't say no pens, but you get what I mean, though.
You know
when
what I'm
you're in
saying?
there, you have to go for it.
Which is very true. But one thing I will say is that Klopp will always go down in. I think personally, he might go down as the best Liverpool manager ever. I know they had like Bill Shankly and all these other guys, or they might even be now. I don't know. They've had bare people before them because before the Premier League, they were the team.
Before that
Do you know
era,
what I mean?
yeah.
However, I think one thing that you cannot deny is the fact that Liverpool have been waiting 30 years for the Premier League, and Klopp brought it.
Delivers.
Prior to Klopp, they had one title charge with Brendan Rodgers. They didn't really have any title charges like that under Benitez. For like when we were growing up, Liverpool weren't that team. Liverpool were not
heritage, bro.
Liverpool were not that team.
Yeah.
They were that team that made up the top four. But even then, they almost went into administration. Let's not forget that.
Even make up the top four.
Like
Exactly.
Europa, bro.
Exactly.
They were like Everton, basically.
That's what I'm saying. So it's a thing where I think when you were saying about in terms of Pep changing the course of City, Wenger changing the course of Arsenal, I think Klopp has done that for Liverpool. I feel like now he's made people think that no, it's not just City. Like Liverpool are still a heavy. Even last season, pundits were saying, yeah, but Liverpool wake up because Klopp's team and da. So I think now for a lot of the new gen, and I guess you could say he's rewriting history for Liverpool in the sense where now we're actually going to take them in as a serious team.
Yeah, I think if we also look at the vehicle that he was going up against in City, let's put aside the.
It ain't easy, bro.
It's
not easy.
Isn't easy.
It's not easy.
And
And
let's put aside the 115 charges as the alleged 115 charges. Well, they're there. We just don't know if they're guilty or not. Let's put that aside. But just look at what Pep's doing, man. Bro, if Pep's 100 plus goals, you get 97 points, my man gets 98. Like, bro, what do you want him to do?
Competition is competition at the end of the day, and I still believe that Sir Alex Ferguson is the best manager that has ever lived, right? But he came up against a Pep. Who said,
Ever lived might be a stretch. Premier League.
For me, ever lived. For me.
Cool.
Okay? Now, when it came to winning those two extra Champions Leagues that he got to the finals or semi-finals and finals in, he lost to a Pep Barcelona team that was just unbeatable.
Incredible.
In that sense. Incredible.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But we don't use that and say that he wasn't great because we know he was great. He just came up against a better team. But that doesn't take away his legacy because his legacy is unmatched. You can't.
Yeah, so
that's the
same
It's
for
the same
Klopp.
for Klopp. But it would be different if it was longevity, one, and this season. He needs to be longer than 9 years, bro. He needs to be longer than 9 years.
Bro,
and win
who's
multiple.
been longer than 9 years in the Premier League?
At the moment, no one.
But football changes,
innit? Exactly.
In terms of how much he's won, 8 trophies doesn't make you one of the greatest in the Premier League.
another
And
thing
it's not
you-
Premier League trophies.
another thing you
it's
have to
one
remember-
Premier League. He's been in the 9 years, one Premier League.
The only reason why it's 9 years and not more is because of him. He doesn't want to stay any longer, bro.
Because he's not gonna win.
They said he can't take it, bro.
He doesn't want it,
Because he cannot win.
Bro.
He cannot.
To me,
he cannot.
right, when you look
He's accepted defeat, and that's okay.
Over the last 10 years, the best manager in the Premier League has been Pep Guardiola.
Yep.
After that, there's no debate about it. It's been Klopp. And that's for 9 years. And including that, he did beat the greatest manager in the world.
What, as in Pep?
As in Pep, yeah. And he's gone toe to...
No, okay, and then he
didn't
got the
just
champ,
beat
but then he
him.
got the champs
He didn't
as
just
well,
beat
which is
him.
Which is great. I'm trying to reiterate. I am not taking away the credits for the trophies he's won. I'm just saying the amount of trophies could have been more, right?
Yeah.
And it feels like to me that he's accepted defeat. And in this last season, where you're meant to go out with a bang and show us why you are one of these best managers ever, and they're not bottling it, but they're not doing what we thought they could do. They won the League Cup. Was it League Cup?
Yeah.
They won the League Cup this season, and Trent did that picture saying, "Oh, we're hungry for more," and it stayed that way. They're gonna get knocked out of the Europa League. I don't think they're gonna win the Prem after the slip up that they've had against Crystal Palace. And then what other competition?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. They've got that out of the FA Cup. So it's like, what? You know what I mean? Like, he's great, but we're not gonna push it and make it seem like he's one of the best that's ever lived in the Prem, bro. He's not. He's just not. He makes the top 5, but that's it.
Fair enough, man. All right, then. Well, wrap it up there. We'll see what you guys think. Let us know what you think in the comments. Do you think Klopp's legacy is stamped, verified, valid, whatever you kids say nowadays? Is he up there? In my opinion, I think, although this season might not go his way, I think the points that these guys have raised are quite, fair. He will go up there as one of the best Premier League managers. Let us know what you guys think in the comments, and, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow us on all social medias in the description. And, Raf, as you say.
Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Peace.